The word queer has a heavy history. It was once a weapon. It was a slur, thrown like a stone to cause harm. People used it to say you were strange, wrong, and unnatural. It was meant to isolate and to shame. For many years, hearing that word was like a punch to the gut. It was a label forced upon people, one that carried the weight of hatred and misunderstanding. The word was a cage, designed to keep people in their place, to remind them that they did not fit into the neat boxes society had created for them. It was a word that signified danger and demanded silence. But things change. Language evolves. Communities find strength in the most unexpected places. The LGBTQ+ community began to take the word back. They picked it up, dusted it off, and decided it would no longer be a source of pain. Instead, it became a banner of defiance. It became an umbrella term, a way to gather all the different identities under one roof. It was a political statement. To call oneself queer was to reject the idea that you had to be one specific thing. It was an act of rebellion against the pressure to conform, a way of saying, I am here, and I will not be erased. This reclamation was not easy. It was not universally accepted at first. Some people, especially older generations who had only known the word as a tool of oppression, were hesitant. They remembered the sting of the insult too clearly. The pain associated with the word was a deep scar, and for them it was difficult to see it as anything other than a weapon. The debate within the community was fierce. It highlighted a generational divide and different experiences with prejudice. The process of reclaiming queer was a conversation, sometimes a difficult one, about history, pain, and the power of language. Today in 2025, queer means something different. It is a word of inclusion. It embraces everyone who does not fit neatly into heterosexual or cisgender norms. It is for the people who are still figuring things out. It is for those whose identities are fluid and change over time. The word is no longer just a label, but a space. It is a space to exist without having to explain every part of yourself. It represents a shared experience of being different in a world that often demands sameness. It is a testament to the resilience of a community that can turn a word of hate into a symbol of love and solidarity. Queer identity is not a simple checklist. It is not a box you tick on a form. It is complex and messy. It is a spectrum of experiences, desires, and self-expression. Being queer is not just about who you love. It is also about how you see yourself, how you present yourself to the world, and how you understand gender. It can involve your politics, your community, and the way you build your family. It is a deeply personal journey, and no two paths are the same. This complexity is its strength. It resists easy categorization and challenges the simplistic binaries that society often imposes on us. Think of identity as a constellation, not a single star. Each point of light represents a different part of who you are. Your sexuality is one star. Your gender identity is another. Your gender expression is yet another. For some, these stars align in a familiar pattern. For others, they form a unique and new shape. A person can be a lesbian and also be non-binary. A person can be bisexual and aromantic. There are infinite combinations, and each one is valid. This multifaceted nature of queerness is what makes it so rich and so human. It acknowledges that we are more than just one thing. This complexity can be confusing for people outside the community. They want simple answers and clear definitions, but queer identity resists that. It asks us to be comfortable with ambiguity. It teaches us that not everything needs a precise label. Sometimes the most honest answer to "what are you?" is simply, "I'm queer." This term allows for growth and change. A person's understanding of their own identity can evolve over a lifetime. What feels right at 20 might feel different at 40. Queerness provides the flexibility to accommodate that evolution without judgment. This is why labels can sometimes feel restrictive. While labels like gay, bisexual, or transgender are important and provide a sense of community, they can also feel like boxes. The umbrella of queer offers an alternative. It is for those who feel that no single label captures the entirety of their experience. It is a rejection of the need to define oneself for the comfort of others. It is an embrace of the beautiful, messy, and ever-changing reality of being human. It is a way of saying that we are more than the sum of our parts, and that is perfectly okay. Personal stories are the heart of the queer experience. They transform abstract concepts into living, breathing realities. Consider a young person in a small town scrolling through social media. They see a non-binary creator talking openly about their journey with pronouns and self-acceptance. For this young person, who has felt like an outsider their whole life, that story is a lifeline. It is a whisper that says, "You are not alone." It validates their feelings and gives them the language to understand themselves. These narratives, shared online and in person, build bridges and create communities where there were none before. Take the story of an older man who came out as gay late in life. For decades, he lived a life that society expected of him. He had a wife and children. He played a role, but inside he carried a secret that felt heavier with each passing year. His story is not one of regret, but one of liberation. It is about the courage it takes to finally live authentically, even when it means upending your entire world. His journey shows that queerness has no age limit. It is a reminder that it is never too late to embrace your true self. His narrative challenges the stereotype that coming out is only a young person's game. Then there is the experience of a bisexual woman who constantly faces erasure. To straight people, she is seen as experimenting. To some in the gay community, she's not queer enough. Her story is a fight for visibility. It is about navigating the world while constantly having to assert that her identity is real and valid. She has to explain that her attraction to more than one gender is not a phase or a state of confusion. Her narrative highlights the internal struggles within the queer community itself and the ongoing need for acceptance and understanding of all identities under the rainbow. These stories, and countless others like them, are crucial. They are the fabric of queer history and the foundation of its future. They teach empathy in a way that facts and figures never can. When we share our truths, we challenge stereotypes and break down barriers. We show the world that queer people are not a monolith. We are parents, artists, teachers, and friends. We are complex individuals with unique hopes and fears. Our stories are our power. They are a declaration that we are here, we have always been here, and our experiences matter. As we look toward the future in 2025, the landscape of queer identity continues to shift. Society is slowly and often reluctantly moving away from rigid binaries. The conversation is expanding beyond just gay or straight, man or woman. More people are beginning to understand that gender and sexuality are not simple on or off switches. This growing awareness is fueled by the visibility of trans and non-binary individuals who challenge us to rethink our most basic assumptions about identity. The future of queerness is one that embraces this complexity and moves beyond simple labels. This societal shift is visible in small but significant ways. We see it in the increasing use of gender-neutral pronouns in email signatures and social media bios. We see it in the growing number of gender-neutral bathrooms in public spaces. We see it in television shows and movies that feature characters with fluid identities, presenting them not as problems to be solved, but simply as people living their lives. These changes may seem minor, but they represent a profound cultural transformation. They signal a growing acceptance that the world is not as black and white as we were once taught. However, this progress is not without its backlash. With increased visibility comes increased resistance. There are powerful forces that want to push back against this evolution. They seek to reinforce old binaries and erase the identities that challenge them. The fight for acceptance is far from over. The future of queer identity will depend on our collective resilience and our willingness to continue fighting for a world where everyone can exist safely and authentically. It will require us to be vocal, to educate, and to support one another in the face of hostility. Ultimately, the future of queer identity is one of hope. It is a future where the word queer continues to be a space of infinite possibility. It is a future where young people are free to explore who they are without fear or shame. It is a future where identity is not seen as a fixed point, but as a lifelong journey of discovery. The conversations we are having today are laying the groundwork for a more inclusive and understanding world. The future is not about finding the right label. It is about having the freedom to live without one at all.